Welcome back, everyone. We are your time machine. We are two dudes talking 80s. I'm John. That's Lewis. That's my partner in crime.
Hello.
We're jazz hands. What is that?
There you go, man. Putting
All
a little
right,
bit of
cool.
variance, a little bit of panache, a little bit of flavor.
All right. Well, hey, we're here to talk about our favorite subject in the world, and that's the 80s. And Lewis, since this was from a request or a suggestion from a friend of yours, why don't you explain what we're doing today?
Excellent. Yeah, I believe this came from Karen. And what we're going to be doing is talking about videos from the 80s, music videos specifically from the 80s. 80s?
80s.
It's early in the morning over here. That we enjoyed. So yeah, and just a quick side note, as I was going through, I was having a really hard time discerning if I liked the video because I liked the song, or it was hard to draw the line between the two for whatever reason. But anyway, I'm babbling. That's what we're doing.
All right, cool. Well, as always, we appreciate the suggestions. She came up with a few really good ones too. Probably some other ones we're gonna take the suggestions and run with in the future. But let's get started. Lou, start us off.
All right, excellent. Again, I'm going to try and do the strategic thing here and knock out any ones that I think that you might grab. This one to me is an obvious one. It got a lot of talk back in the 80s, and it still stands the test of time now. Sorry, Dave, I know you hate this song. Take on Me. And again, super creative the way that they sort of intermingle the comic book drawing stuff with real footage. It was groundbreaking then, and again, you still watch it now, and it still is very entertaining.
I love the song. I'm kind of like you. I'm not a huge music video person. I like the song. I like the video. I thought it was interesting, but didn't make my list. I agree
All
that it
right.
was iconic, but not one of mine. But I feel like we're playing Battleship right now. So let me try and knock off one of yours. Um, I'm gonna go with probably the most obvious, probably the most iconic '80s music video there is.
Oh, you bastard.
Wow, I haven't even finished yet. It might
You're
not be
going
what you're
for it.
thinking.
I already know it. I should have gone with that one first. Go ahead.
All right. Well, it's Michael Jackson's Thriller. And I'm not a huge Michael Jackson fan. I love the video. I wasn't expecting to. I thought it was really, really well done. The creativity that they had, it was like a mini movie. The werewolf theme, shout out Silver Bullet. I thought it was a great video. Probably spent way too much money on it, but really loved it. And Michael Jackson.
Super great pick. Yeah, that was next on my list. And yeah, even when it came out, I remember the big fanfare of it. It's like, oh, Michael Jackson spent all this money on this video, and when it debuted on MTV, I know that a lot of people, including myself, I found a friend that had cable, and we watched it. And yeah, absolutely iconic, groundbreaking.
Too early for that. Too early.
Groundbreaking video as well. And how much that has really influenced, and you see it popping up even in current culture, right? You see like videos of prisoners doing the whole dance thing, like in China or something. And
show us the moves, Lewis. Come on, show us a little bit of those Thriller moves.
and what is it, 13 going on 30, where the gal does the moves, and you see like even like YouTube videos of Lego figures doing it. Just huge influence on culture.
So I got to share this. When I first moved out to Los Angeles, I think this must have been like 2000, 2001. I had a day off during the week, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I want to explore the city. And I always loved Universal Studios. We talked about it, in a previous episode. I loved it. So I went to Universal City Walk, and they had a store there, like the Universal store. And I was in there looking, and this employee comes to me, he goes, "Hey, sir, you need to leave the store." I said, "Why? What's happening?" And he looks at me, he goes, "Well, Michael Jackson's here, and he wants to shop without being interrupted." I said, "Yeah, I'm not going to interrupt him. We're cool with that." He goes, "Yeah, I need you to leave the store." So I got kicked out of the store because Michael Jackson decided he wanted to shop there that day. not real happy about it. Another interesting tidbit, I know you know this, but not a lot of people do know this. I actually, through my work, I was at Michael Jackson's funeral, and I was standing in front of the front gate of Forest Lawn Cemetery when the procession drove in. So of course I ended up in like practically every magazine and newspaper and across the United States. I'm standing there in front of the gate working as the Michael Jackson procession came in. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I was talking to one of the workers there at Forest Lawn, and I said, "Hey man, how crazy has it been with this Michael Jackson thing?" He said, "Dude, you have no idea." He goes, "There was a woman from Japan that flew all the way out to the United States,
Wow.
to Los Angeles, and said he came in, bought flowers from them, and said, 'I want to make sure these go on Michael's grave.'" And he said, "Well, what are you doing now?" She goes, "Oh, I'm flying back." Like,
Wow.
you flew all the way from Japan and you're gonna fly right back. So yeah, it was crazy. So those are my Michael Jackson interactions. Just thought it was a little interesting tidbit, and kind of personalizes the video a little bit more. Anyway, please.
Definitely, man, definitely. And I'm glad you brought that up because if you hadn't, I was going to.
Cool.
Um, so my next one is actually a video that I really did and still do enjoy. I like the song as well a lot, although that it doesn't have very much bass in it. Metallica's One. And I think that the video just fits the song really, really well. It's just very dark and dreary. And I understand that the whole concept was either from a book or a movie. The whole concept about the song, where it's a soldier that has no arms, no legs, and they're like doing. He's pretty much conscious, but I guess nobody realizes that he's conscious, and they're doing experiments on him and stuff. Very dark video, but very fitting to the song. Good video, very entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't on my list. I'm not a fan of that album. A lot of the reason is because Injustice for All, just the lack of the bass.
Yeah.
But I remember it was really interesting. Everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And there were rumors that MTV was paying Metallica to make a video because they wanted it so badly. I don't know if that was true or not. Somehow I doubt it. But it was definitely a cool video, cool concept. I do think it came from a movie. Um, and it's kind of interesting because you mentioned that. Did you ever see that movie, Boxing Helena? I think it was called.
The title sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
So it was a movie. I don't know if it was '80s, late '80s, early '90s, but Julian Sands was in it. I think it was Sherilyn Fenn, and it's this guy that's obsessed with this woman and doesn't want her to leave, so he cuts off her arms and legs.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it was dark. I haven't seen it. Probably I saw it once, like back in the day, and just because it sounded so bizarre, and it was. Don't remember too much about it, but it was kind of a similar thing. But yeah, going back to the music video itself, fit the song, fit the mood, and I thought it was great. I'm gonna move on, and this is probably another sink your battleship kind of moment. I'm gonna get it out now. Um, think about the '80s, and what's more iconic than the image of Tawny Katane on David Coverdale's car, rolling around on it. And here I go again. Talk to me, Lewis. What is? I know what it is as I flip my pen. I know what it is, but tell everybody watching what that is.
This is an autographed photo that my good friend John got for me of Tawny Katane with the various snapshots of her rolling around on David Coverdale's Jag.
That's very cool.
It is very cool.
How did she sign it? Can you read that? Because I can't read it.
Yeah, I can't either because of my sunglasses.
That's the price of being cool.
Here we go. 280s Lou. Lots of love, Tawny Katane. Kiss me.
It's funny. So we happened to be at there's a convention out here called the Hollywood Show, and they have a lot of actors and actresses, from various movies, TV shows, and they're there to sign autographs and take photos. And I had gone to this particular one. It's the only time I ever went was because they were doing a reunion of the Warriors. I wish I was in the 80s. I'd talk about that. But we happened to be there, and it was around the time your birthday was coming up, I think. And we happened to be there, and Tawny Katane was there. And so we went up to her, and I saw that photo. I said, "Hey, would you sign this?" And I explained who you were and kind of about you. And she's like, "Oh, that's so cool." She goes, "I never sign an autograph like this. So your friend's very special." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." So I don't know what part of it she doesn't usually add, but that's what she said to me. Probably said it to the guy behind me too. But and it was funny because you were supposed to pay them, money to take photos with them. And I don't think my wife understood that concept. And she goes, "Oh, can I get a photo with you?" And she goes, "Oh, you're not really supposed." She goes, "Just lean back and I'll lean in." And she, let us take a photo of the two of them together. And she was super cool. Sadly she's passed away, but she was. I know she had her demons at times, and all I can say is my interaction with her was incredibly positive. She was very cool. Very nice to my wife as well. So a lot of respect to her, and she signed a photo for my best friend. So, and she signed it a special way because she knew about 80s Lou. She knew.
Thanks again for that, man. Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I remember that like my friends were like, "Oh man, have you seen the nip slip in the video?" And that was a big thing because I mean, how old were we? We're probably still in high school, right?
Uh,
Must have been.
Probably no, we were probably just out. That was on the 1987 album.
But okay, all right. But I remember Dave Castor going, "Oh my God, did you see that? Oh my God!" So that was like the big thing.
She was also amazing in Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. I love that movie, and she was fantastic in that. So,
Yeah,
but of course, the everlasting image is her on the Jag.
absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. So my next one is "Whip It" by Devo. And it's just because it's so obscure, man. It's so bizarre, all the different scenes. The cross-eyed lady with the whip, trying to whip exactly a cigarette out of somebody's mouth, and just really bizarre. But really, it was really cool to watch. I still like to watch it and be reminded of all the different scenes in it. So
Didn't they whip the clothes off her too?
yes, they
Yeah.
did that as well.
All right, so you perv. I always I felt like the way the mannerisms of the woman in that video, or maybe there were women. I haven't seen the video in a long time. Seemed like a precursor to the Robert Palmer videos. Where the makeup a certain way, the blank stares. Like Addicted to Love and Whip It seemed very kind of similar, at least for the female models. But that's my take.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, again, it just lots of interesting little scenes that I even forget about until I like rewatch the video. So I enjoy that video a lot.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go. We gotta get some metal in here, and well, I guess you did with Metallica, but I've got to get some metal in here because I'm the bigger of the metalheads. Um, the video is awful, but my God, it's so much fun, and that's Anthrax Mad House. I don't know if you've seen it, but it seems like they got their friends and they put them in straight jackets and they're just sitting there like in an insane asylum playing the song, and they have all these guys moshing around them in like straight jackets and hospital gowns and stuff like that, and they're just doing these weird mosh moves. And it's not a good video, I admit that, but to me it had some personal connection because I remember like after band practice, a lot of times we'd watch some videos and stuff, and that would come on, and we'd start our little mosh pit after the band practice and try to recreate some of the moves that some of the guys were doing, and a lot of fun. And I think it captured kind of that the early metal spirit very well. And I love their amps because they had camouflaged cabinets for their Marshalls.
Oh wow.
And I always thought that was really cool. It was a cool image. Um, Dan Spitz, bless his heart. I think he's like all 4'5" or something. I don't know how short that guy is, but I remember seeing them at the Stone, and I'm almost like looking eye to eye on him when I'm standing on the floor. So
Wow.
yeah, Anthrax Mad House, great video. Well, not a great video, but an important video to me. A lot of fun and some great memories of it.
I'll have to look that one up, but I'm not even familiar with the song. So
Oh yeah, it's a cool one. It was off the Spreading the Disease album. The first Joey Belladonna, album. And like I said, it's cheesy, but it resonated with me. So we'll go with it.
very cool. Good deal. Let's see what's going to be my next pick. It's actually a song that I wasn't familiar with in the 80s, and I was listening to something, I was streaming on some station, and it came on, had no idea who it was, really enjoyed the song, watched the video, and I thought the video was very, very cool as well. It's Oingo Boingo, Stay. And the whole video is like that they're shooting it, it's almost like in Western times, and they're on a stage playing their song, and some mysticism that's played in there. Definitely, the whole Western theme, and Danny Elfman with his bizarre evil grin, and it's a really cool video, and I love the song.
I cannot think of the song, and I know I've never seen the video.
Yeah.
I actually saw, like, I guess a lot of the members of the Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman's too busy. He's not touring anymore. He's making tons doing movie scores. He scores everything these days. But I saw a few years back, I forgot what they called themselves, but it was like the ex-members of Oingo Boingo with the different singer. They were really good, and it was a lot of fun. So I need to check it out. For whatever reason, I can't get the song in my head. So
I hadn't heard it in the 80s, and it was a hit in the 80s apparently, but I had not heard it, and it's a really great song. I like it a lot.
Is it up tempo or?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a few that I'm gonna go, but you know what? Since we never talk about this person, let's talk about her. Paula Abdul.
Nice.
I sing black like Paula Abdul. Sorry, if you've never seen Fear of a Black Hat, that's where that line comes from. Anyway, recommend that movie too. But Paula Abdul, she had a few videos in the 80s. I was kind of, juggling. I'm going to do a U. I was kind of juggling between Forever Your Girl, and that got disqualified because I can't stand Arsenio Hall. And so I went to Cold Hearted Snake.
Nice.
Because I thought, it was kind of a tribute to Bob Fosse, the famous choreographer, and a lot of those moves came from that. And I thought it was an excellent, excellent video. The dancing was really cool. It was sexy, not sexist, sexy. I forget where that line comes from. But yeah, so it was one of my favorites. I actually, believe it or not, I actually saw her perform at the Shoreline Amphitheater once. And I think it was her and Color Me Bad. She was obviously the headliner. It was a great show. I really enjoyed it. And, one of those artists that, even though I was mostly listening to heavy metal back then, I did enjoy my Paula Abdul, and still do today.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that line that you made reference to, it came from Spinal Tap. And
oh, okay. Thank you. I can't believe I forgot that. I'm embarrassed now.
And I remember when you still had your Mustang, and you unfortunately had it broken into when we went to go see
Testament.
Testament, exactly, at the Omni. And then you got it fixed, and you got a new stereo in it and stuff, and it sounded really great. And the first thing you played for me on it was Paula Abdul. And that for whatever reason, that memory sticks in my head. Is driving down my mom's street and us listening to that song on your
That's
cassette
crazy. Deck. And the funny thing is, it's like, yeah, let's show off the new stereo system with Paula Abdul.
It worked. It sounded really great.
All right, cool.
Was that it, or do I have one more?
I think you have one more, sir.
Okay, well, not a huge fan of them. I mean, I appreciate the music that they've done. I like the singer's solo stuff a little bit more, but I thought the video was very, very cool. It's very simple, and I think it actually won some awards. And I'm talking about the Police, "Every Breath You Take." And again, very simple. They just did, a lot of tricks with lighting and stuff. It almost looks black and white. It might be black and white,
It is,
and
yeah.
very artsy though. And I just thought it fit the song.
All right, cool. I remember a lot of candles in that one too. I think I remember correctly.
Possibly, possibly.
Possibly. All right. Well, I'm gonna end it with I don't even know if I haven't seen the video in years, but I'm gonna just include it because of the amount of damn effort it took to record this stupid thing. Back in the 80s, MTV, they used to play videos. I know that's hard to believe. And for some of the bigger acts, they'd announce, like, sometimes you just have to randomly catch something and be hopeful. But for some of the bigger acts, they'd announce, hey, we're going to be showing this video at this time, this time, this time. I remember setting my VCR up to record, and it didn't freaking record the song. I don't know what happened to it, but it was Night Rangers, "When You Close Your Eyes." And I love that song. The video, again, I vaguely remember, but I just put so much freaking effort into trying to record that, and failing miserably, and sitting there and waiting for to come on and press, you'd have it record and pause, and then you just take the pause off so it was a cleaner cut, and trying to get that stupid video. And yeah, these people that just go onto YouTube and show me Night Ranger when you close your eyes, they don't know the struggle, and it hurt.
I don't have those memories with video, but definitely with recording off of the radio and being pissed off at the announcer because he or she is talking through the very beginning of the song. You're like, shut up so I can press record. Shut up so I can press record. That's why I used to like the King Biscuit Flower Hour, because they just play the thing in its entirety. But anyway, yeah, good call out. I don't remember the video at all, but I like the song a lot.
What was funny is originally I thought that memory was in regards to Sentimental Streets, which I also really love that song. And then I went and I found it, I did a little research on stuff I was going to talk about, hint, hint. And then I went on to YouTube and I'm like, crap, I've never seen this video. Then I realized, no, it was actually "When You Close Your Eyes" was the video I was referring to. So yeah, that was it for me. So I'm not a huge fan of music videos, but there were definitely some cool ones. There were some really bad ones too in the 80s. But I think we can all agree the best thing that came out of the 80s videos is Tawny Katane. Right?
Sure, why not?
Hold her up again. Hold up Tawny. Show her. Yes. It doesn't get better than that. Yeah. God bless. So anyway, hey Lewis. So just the next episode we're gonna do, and we have to figure out what we're gonna do. But I think it's time to do another drinking episode. So obviously we will not record it at 9 a.m. on a Friday, so we'll have to do a later one. I know, nothing starts the day off better than day drinking. I still can't do that. But you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll do our next episode. We'll make it a drinking episode. So hopefully everyone will drink along with us. But what's going to happen after we record that?
After we record that, we are going to host an open session, essentially. So John and I will be nice and primed and tipsy, and looking forward to people logging in and sharing their thoughts with us and joining in on the party and drinking. Every time we say iconic.
So, it would help if we give a date and time, Lo.
It would. And that would be great if I could remember it off the top of my head.
Friday, March 25th, 7 p.m. We're starting a little bit early so the people on the East Coast can hopefully join in and participate. Please, join us, have an adult beverage, or even have a soda, water, whatever. We don't care. But we're going to hang out for a little bit. Some people have asked if we do this, and we said sure. So please don't make it just Lewis and I, because then we're going to be really upset. If we get one other person, we'll be happy. So we're going to just hang out, talk 80s, share some memories, and hopefully you guys can join us. So we'll go ahead and we'll include the Zoom link. We'll put it on our Facebook pages. We'll also put it on the last video that we uploaded onto YouTube, so you guys can have the link. But Friday, March 25th, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We hope you guys can come out and join us, and let's talk about some 80s. You guys have some great suggestions, one of which we use today, and so please keep them coming. Love hearing your comments. I forgot your friend, but man, kudos to him for throwing out Anthony's Enterprises. I wish I had thought of that one for the last episode. That was great. I wish I had included that, because that was an iconic location in San Mateo, and yeah, good stuff right there.
Definitely. Yeah, it's Scott Amy. He lived around the block from me, when we were kids, and I bought most of your birthday cards there while that store was open. Great place.
Yeah, and as I remember, they were a little obnoxious too, but I'm called the obnoxious one. Go figure. Anyway, I think that about does it. So again, March 25th, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bring an adult beverage, raise your glass. If we say iconic, take a shot again, or bring a water. We don't care. Take a sip of water. But please come out, hang out with us for a little bit. It'll be fun. I love revisiting these memories. Some of you guys remind me of stuff that I've even forgotten about, which isn't that surprising. So anyway, we're looking forward to it. As always, thank you, brother, for doing this. It's always one of the highlights of my week. And take us out.
Peace out.
Thank you, guys.